The Princess with Long Hair. Once upon a time, there was a poor couple living in a small cottage on the edge of a forest. One day, the wife noticed a strange purple flower growing near their home and begged her husband to pick it for her. Out of love for his wife, the husband climbed over the wall to pluck the flower. However, he had no idea that the garden belonged to a witch. The witch caught him stealing and offered him a deal. "If you give me your firstborn child, I will let you go," she said. Terrified of the witch's curse, the husband had no choice but to agree. That year, the wife gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, and the heartbroken couple had to surrender their firstborn to the witch. As time passed, the little girl grew more beautiful, with her most striking feature being her long, golden hair. Fearing the girl might escape, the witch locked her in a tall, ancient tower deep in the forest. Whenever the witch returned home, she would call out, "Rapunzel! Rapunzel! Let down your hair." Upon hearing this, the girl would lower her long hair, allowing the witch to climb up to the tower. Living alone in the tower, the girl often sang to chase away her loneliness. One day, a prince riding through the forest happened to hear her lovely voice. Curious, he rode closer and witnessed the strange sight of the witch climbing up the tower using the girl's hair. Intrigued, the prince waited for the witch to leave. Then, he approached the tower and called out, imitating the witch, "Rapunzel! Rapunzel! Let down your hair." The girl let down her golden hair, and the prince climbed up. Upon meeting the prince, the girl was delighted. They sang and played music together, growing fond of each other. Before leaving, the prince promised he would return the next day. That evening, when the witch returned, the girl innocently told her everything about the prince's visit. Furious, the witch cut off the girl's long hair and tied it to the window. She then led the girl deep into the forest and abandoned her there. The next morning, the prince returned to the tower and called out as he had done the day before. This time, the witch lowered the hair, and as the prince climbed up, he was met by the witch, not the girl. Laughing wickedly, the witch cut the hair, causing the prince to fall from the tower. Luckily, he landed on the pile of hair the witch had cut, breaking his fall. Realizing he had been deceived, the prince fled, determined to find the girl. For days, the prince searched the forest, following every sound and every echo. Finally, he heard the faint sound of the girl's voice singing in the distance. Overjoyed, the prince rode quickly through the trees and found her deep in the forest. Reunited, the prince brought the girl back to the palace. He introduced her to his father, the king, and asked for permission to marry her. The king granted his blessing, and soon after, the two were wed. They lived happily together, and after many years apart, the girl was even able to reunite with her poor parents, who had long thought they had lost her forever. The end.